float snack upgrade. Bacon and eggs?
Moana 2 is incredible, fantastic job. It's beautiful, the art, the animation is gorgeous, and I love the new songs. Dana, you co-wrote this film. First question is for you. Could you share some of the specific stories from the Pacific Island communities that inspired the screenplay for Moana 2?
Absolutely. You know, we were so fortunate to work with the Polynesian Voyaging Society and Nainoa Thompson, who's a master wayfinder. And there were so many times that they came and talked with us. And really, when we decided that we were going to put Moana in a monster storm, I realized, well, I know nothing about what it would be like to be on the ocean in a monster storm. And so we were all really fortunate, Jared as well, to talk to them about what that really feels like. And you know, Nainoa told us a lot of things, but one of the things that he said that was so meaningful and ended up inspiring a lot of Moana's story is this idea that when you're in the midst of a storm, you have to let go of everything you know and everything you think is true, and you really have no control over the situation. And Nainoa told us that he found that feeling really liberating and freeing because it forces you to think differently and to learn something new. And so that was really a major turning point for us in crafting the story, because we realized we're going to put someone who always knows what to do and is always pushing forward and charging through life and is leading the way in a situation where she's not going to know what to do or how to move forward, and that's going to be a really big challenge for her. So
incredible.
That was pretty exciting.
That's awesome. Now, David, in the sequel, Moana's community is thriving, but still needs to grow. What challenges does Moana face that drives that growth?
You know, Moana and her people have been isolated for a long time. She reconnected her people to who they're meant to be in the first film, and we see that the village has grown. She has a little sister now, so things have changed for Moana, but her goal is still the same. She is looking for connection. The people of the Pacific and Moana see the ocean not as something that divides, but as something that connects. And so she knows that there are others out there, and so she's hoping to find them. She wants to give her little sister Simea the whole ocean.
Incredible. Now, Jason, the ocean is a character in itself in this film.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how the ocean's role in Moana 2 differs from the first film? And can you elaborate on that change in her journey in this film?
Well, one of our favorite scenes early on in the film is Moana actually introducing her little sister to the ocean, and it's such a powerful thing. And like, if you have children or anything, to actually share something that you love or you experienced when you were a kid and actually be able to share that. And so I felt like we were tapping into something like that in that moment. And that connection, Moana says to her, like, no matter how far I'll go, the ocean will always connect us. And even when she's out on her journey, she actually sends her a message and gets a message back from Simea. And I think that kind of stuff is it's a way that we actually expand on that idea of the ocean connecting us and using Moana and the ocean together. I love that part.
I love that too. Now, Dana, how did the concept of the ancient meeting points for the navigators influence the storyline and character development in Moana 2?
You know, we've talked a lot about how the ocean is what connects everyone across the Pacific and not what divides us. And there are places throughout the Pacific that were meeting points for real ancient navigators. And so in thinking about how we would get Moana reconnected to other people, we started thinking a lot about the opposite of that, disconnect. And so we love the idea that there was once this place, long before Moana existed, where all the wayfinders of the ocean came together. And so we thought about what it would mean if that was lost or that was taken from them. So the idea that Moana is chasing after that felt like a really great challenge for her in this film.
Now, David, I love the relationship between Moana and Maui in this film, but can you talk about how it evolves in the sequel?
Yes, I mean, Maui now, you know, he's never really cared about people before, and he cares about Moana, and that gives Maui a vulnerability. And the thing I love is the growth in their relationship. There's a moment where Maui needs to give Moana a pep talk, and it's in an incredible song, Can I Get a Chihu? And it's really Maui returning the favor that Moana gave him in the first movie.
Incredible. Now, let's talk about Nalo. Am I saying that correctly? Nalo, the god of storms. Can you talk about how that god was developed and the significance in that god of Moana's journey?
Yeah, I mean, it's we were always inspired by the idea that these gods like are embodiment of nature. Obviously, in the first film, we had Tikal with that incredible like lava, and we wanted something that was like that. And there's so many amazing stories that we read about and we learned about from our consultants and read on our own. And it felt like if you're going to be out as a navigator, a storm and an incredibly huge storm felt like it was going to be a really good obstacle. And also, it serves as this thing that's keeping everybody disconnected. And we really loved that. It really came together in a way that I think for all of us, it was surprising, and it's so amazing as filmmakers to be working with an incredible team that is able to create something. You've never seen anything like that up on screen, and we loved making that. But yeah, that was the idea, is that we needed a very powerful god that could do that, and this god of storms does it.
Now, Moana discovers a lot about herself in this film. Can you talk about what you guys discovered about yourselves through making this film?
Yeah.
No,
go ahead.
I would say I discovered that I'm capable of a lot more than I realized. This is my first time directing, first time working in animation. There was a really steep learning curve, and I'm really thankful that I had a community that was so supportive, but also, when you're in a hard situation, you don't always know how you'll react, and I think I learned a lot. I learned I'm capable of a lot more than I thought, and that's what Moana goes through in this film too, so it kind of mirrored her in that way.
Yeah. For me, I was gonna say that you never quite know what the journey you're starting is. This started out as it was going to be a series on Disney Plus, and it evolved into what it is now, and I'm so happy it did. But you never really quite know what life is going to throw at you, and I think Moana is actually experiencing that, and I know I felt that as working on this. So proud of the work we did, but yeah, if you were to ask me, 4 years ago what I thought, it would be a much different story.
Sure.
In this continuing story of Moana, she goes further because she goes together, not just with Maui, but with the crew. And for me, I know that without Jason and Dana and our entire crew, I never would have gotten this far. And so for me, I know that together and when we are connected, we can always go farther than we know.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Now, the last question I have for you guys is, I don't want to give away what happens at the end or anything like that, but if there is more adventures for Moana, would you see those continuing as a Disney Plus series or a Moana 3?
I think it always begs for the big screen.
I think we did learn that Moana works really well on the big screen.
Great answer. I would agree with you. Thank you guys so much for your time. You absolutely incredible, fantastic film.
Thank you.
Loved it.
Thank you
Congratulations.
so much.
Thank you.
This is a call from the ancestors to sail to new skies and reconnect our people across the entire ocean.